Hey everyone! Welcome back to another episode of our podcast. I'm Emma, and with me always is Mike. It's so great to have you all here with us today.
Hey guys, we're so happy to have you here today. We've got a fun topic on the table, and honestly, it's one of those things that just about everyone finds challenging.
Today, we're diving into something I think a lot of people can relate to. So here is a quick question. Have you ever traveled somewhere new and suddenly, bam, you're totally stuck, lost for words? Well, today's episode is all about mastering those essential travel phrases. We want to help you feel confident and, prepared for any travel adventure.
Right, so we're going to break down some key vocabulary and share phrases for all sorts of common travel scenarios. And trust me, once you get these down, you'll feel a whole lot more at ease next time you're on the move.
And before we jump in, if you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with our latest episodes. We've got a lot of fun topics lined up, and we don't want you to miss out.
Guiding words.
All right, so before we dive into our dialogue, let's set the stage with a few key terms that'll be super helpful when you're out there traveling. Just knowing these can make a huge difference, right, Mike?
Definitely. So the first word we're looking at is travel.
Well, travel's pretty straightforward. It's basically moving from one place to another, usually for fun or, some kind of exploration.
That sense of adventure, discovering new places, meeting people, it's something we all crave, right?
Right.
So next up is tourist.
Tourist. A tourist is basically someone who's visiting a place for the experience. The sights, the sounds, maybe even the food. You're not from there, you're just, soaking it all in.
Yes, and tourists usually stick to popular spots, the must-see attractions, right?
Right.
But it's good to know, because sometimes locals, might point you toward a tourist area. Next, we have destination.
Destination. So this is kind of your end goal. It's the place you're trying to get to. Whether it's a new city or just the next town over, that's your destination.
Yes.
And once you've got your destination in mind, you've got something to look forward to. I mean, it's like, yes, that's where I'm heading. And it makes the journey itself even more exciting.
Absolutely. Now, accommodation.
Accommodation, this is where you'll stay, like a hotel, a guest house, or maybe even a cozy Airbnb if you're feeling fancy. Gotta have a spot to rest after all that exploring, right?
Totally. And knowing how to ask for accommodation or understand it in conversation makes it way less stressful when you arrive somewhere new. Now, next up, itinerary.
Itinerary. So this is basically your game plan for travel. It's where you're going, what you're doing, when you're doing it. Kind of like the blueprint of your trip.
Yeah, and having an itinerary can actually make travel smoother, especially if you're someone who likes to plan things out a bit, so you're not missing any big highlights. And finally, we've got landmark.
A landmark is one of those big recognizable spots, like a famous building, monument, or even a natural wonder. It's like when you think of Paris, you think of the Eiffel Tower. That's a landmark.
Exactly. And landmarks can be lifesavers when you're trying to find your way around. You can always ask for directions to a landmark because locals will usually know where it is.
Perfect. So now that we are done with our guiding words, let's dive into William's journey to the U.S. Here we go.
Scene 1. Airport.
Hi, I'd like to check in, please. Here's my passport.
Here you go, your boarding pass, sir.
Thanks. And where do I go for the security check?
Straight ahead and to your left.
There you are. All right, now, customs.
Anything to declare today?
Nope, nothing to declare.
Great. Enjoy your stay.
Scene 2. Hotel.
Hi, I have a reservation under the name William.
Welcome, William. Here's your room key.
Thanks. Oh, and do you have room service here and maybe like a gym or pool?
Yes, we offer room service 24/7, and we have both a gym and a pool on the 3rd floor.
Perfect, thanks. I'd like to check out, please. Could you help me with the bill?
Of course. Here's your final bill.
Thanks. Everything looks good. All right, time to see the city.
Scene 3. City tour.
Excuse me, does this bus go to the city center?
Yes, just stay on until the main stop.
Thank you.
Scene 4. Police station.
Hi, sorry to bother you, but I think I'm a bit lost. Can you point me toward the city center?
No problem. Head straight for 2 blocks, and you'll see the metro station. That'll take you right there.
Thank you so much.
Scene 5, emergency situation.
Hi, I'm not feeling too great. Is there a clinic or somewhere I could get checked out?
Yes, we have a clinic down the hall. Someone will assist you shortly.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
Key phrases.
All right, let's break down some of those key phrases William used on his journey. First up, we have check-in. This one's super important because it's the very first step at the airport, getting your boarding pass and confirming you're on the flight. It's like, the gateway to starting your trip.
Exactly. And then we have the boarding pass.
Well, a boarding pass is like your golden ticket. It is a document that grants you permission to board a flight. It contains essential information like your flight number, departure time, gate number, and seat assignment. The boarding pass serves as proof of your reservation and is usually required at multiple points in the airport before boarding the plane. Essentially, it's your ticket to board and find your seat, marking the final step before takeoff. And then we get to the security check, which I think most people kind of dread. You know, taking off your shoes, emptying your pockets. It's not exactly fun, but it's essential to get through safely and smoothly.
Exactly. The goal of the security checkpoint is to prevent restricted items from being brought on board. It's a required step before accessing departure gates and boarding your flight.
Exactly. And once you've arrived, it's time to find baggage claim. This is where you go to grab your luggage after your flight. It's a must, especially if you've checked a bag. No one wants to leave without their stuff.
Right. And then there's customs. So when you're entering a new country, you have to go through customs. It's where they check what you're bringing in to make sure it's all, allowed. Sometimes it's just a quick question, but it's good to be prepared for it.
Yes, and that brings us to his reservation at the hotel. A reservation is, just your booking confirmation. It guarantees you a spot to stay. You don't want to arrive somewhere and hear, "Sorry, we're full." So it's always good to have a reservation. And once he was settled, he checked out room service and amenities. Room service is like having a little restaurant right in your room, which can feel like such a treat, especially if you're tired. Amenities are the extra things like a gym or pool that can make your stay more comfortable.
Right. And then, when William needed directions, he checked his route. So, a route is basically the path or direction you'll take to get somewhere. It's, crucial to know when you're navigating a new city.
And in case of emergencies, it helps to know words like lost and help. Like when William needed assistance at the police station. Knowing how to say, "I'm lost," or "Can you help me?" is, honestly a lifesaver in an unfamiliar place.
Exactly. These simple phrases can make all the difference in a stressful situation. So, having these basic terms down just, well, gives you a sense of security.
Tips for effective communication while traveling.
All right, so now that we've got some key phrases down, let's talk about, a few tips to help you communicate even better while you're traveling. Because let's face it, sometimes words alone don't quite do the trick.
Exactly. So, first tip, body language. When words get tricky, your body can do a lot of the talking. Simple gestures like pointing or nodding can really help you get your message across, especially if there's a language barrier.
Oh, totally. And, along with that, try to speak slowly. I know when we're nervous, we tend to talk fast, but slowing down can make a huge difference. It gives the other person a chance to process what you're saying.
Yes, and staying calm is key too. I mean, travel can be a little overwhelming at times, right? But keeping a calm tone, even if you're, feeling a bit stressed, can really help the conversation go more smoothly.
Absolutely. And let's not forget about cultural sensitivity. Every place has its own customs and ways of doing things, so being polite and respectful of local practices can go a long way. A simple please or thank you in the local language can make people more willing to help.
Great point, Emma. It's amazing how just a little politeness can make such a difference. And even if you don't know much of the language, showing that you're trying can really, connect you with people.
Tip of the day.
Today's tip of the day is awareness. When you're in a new place, staying aware of your surroundings isn't just about safety. It's about soaking in all the little details.
Exactly. Being aware means noticing the unique sounds, the architecture, even the way people interact. It's about really tuning in and appreciating what makes each place different.
Right. It's easy to get caught up in rushing from one site to another, but taking a few moments to look around and be fully present can make your experience so much richer.
So, remember, awareness isn't just a travel tool, it's a way to make the most of each moment. The more you notice, the more meaningful your journey will be.
Audio recap. Travel phrases in sentences. Travel. I love to travel. Exploring new places and cultures gives me a fresh perspective on life. Tourist. As a tourist in Paris, I made sure to visit the Eiffel Tower and try authentic French cuisine. Destination. After months of planning, our final destination is the beautiful beaches of Thailand. Accommodation. I booked accommodation near the city center to easily explore all the main attractions. Itinerary. Our itinerary includes visits to 3 different cities, each with its own unique sights and activities. Landmark. The Statue of Liberty is a famous landmark, easily recognized by visitors from all around the world. Check-in. I arrived at the airport 2 hours early to check in, get my boarding pass, and go through security. Boarding pass. Don't forget your boarding pass. It's needed to enter the plane and find your seat. Security check. After check-in, I headed straight to the security check to get screened before my flight. Customs. When I landed, I went through customs, where an officer asked if I had anything to declare. Baggage claim. I waited at baggage claim for my suitcase to come around the carousel after the flight. Reservation. I made a reservation at a local hotel weeks in advance to ensure I had a place to stay. Room service. After a long day of sightseeing, I ordered room service to have dinner in the comfort of my hotel room. Amenities. The hotel amenities include a spa, gym, and rooftop pool, perfect for relaxing after a day of touring. Route. The map helped me find the best route to my destination, avoiding any traffic along the way. Lost. I got a bit lost in the city, but a friendly local helped me find my way back to my hotel. Help. When I couldn't understand the signs, I asked a passerby for help, and they kindly directed me.
All right, so as we wrap up today's episode, let's take a quick look back at everything we've covered. We dove into those essential travel phrases, from check-in at the airport to navigating the city and even handling those little emergencies. Knowing these phrases can make all the difference when you're out there exploring.
Exactly. And we also touched on some tips to make travel communication smoother, like being open, patient, and keeping that awareness sharp. Honestly, just a little preparation and a few key phrases can turn a challenging moment into something easy.
Absolutely. So here's our takeaway for you. Make these phrases part of your travel toolkit. Practice them, get comfortable with them, and you'll feel so much more confident on your next trip.
And we'd love to hear from you. If you've got any travel stories, tips, or even phrases you found helpful, drop a comment below, or let us know about an adventure where you could have used these phrases.
And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed today's episode. We've got tons more tips and language hacks coming up, so stay tuned.
Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Safe travels, and we'll catch you next time.
See you soon!